So this is Nadav Kidron, and welcome to Enlace, Judío. My name is Carol Perelman, and I'm very happy to be discussing with you today one of the most creative approach for a vaccine, for a COVID-19 vaccine, which is an oral vaccine. And my first question, Nadav, would be, why an oral vaccine? I understand most of the vaccines that we actually have, the 10, 12 that we're actually giving, the doses giving already, almost 500 million doses already in the world, are injections. I can't hear you very well. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. But there's a lot of wind. Okay. So why are you investing in developing an oral vaccine? What are the benefits of having an oral vaccine, and what are the challenges of having an oral vaccine? Because we don't have many oral vaccines in the world. I can only think of the polio vaccine. So why looking at that strategy?
Okay, Carol. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I'll be very happy to answer. It's a great question. So just as a background, Oramed, which is a company that I co-founded with my mother 15 years ago, and today it's a public company on NASDAQ, we have a technology to take injections and deliver them orally. We're working on oral insulin, which is a phase 3, and other things. But if you ask me why oral vaccine for the corona makes sense, I'll tell you the following answer. Number one, our vaccine is better against the variant. So even if it were to be injected, it's better. But the reason that the oral is so attractive is because of the following reasons. Number one, orally, you get less side effects. So people sometimes, 9.4% of the people who take the injection, they get side effect. With the oral, you don't get that. Number two, you don't need someone to administer it. You don't have to take the shot. Think about it. You can get it in the pharmacy. You sit at home with a cup of water and you can drink, and then you vaccinate it. Number three, and that's very important logistically, our vaccine doesn't need to be at -70. It's very hard. You know, I got a call from a country in Africa, and they told me that it's very hard for them to be able to get the vaccines to everywhere. By us, it can be refrigerated. It's much easier to do it, and you don't have as much of the waste that you get with the plastics and the syringe, and you don't need someone that will administer it. You can literally put it in a pharmacy, and anyone can come and buy it. Now, if this corona is going to be here to stay, and we will need to take those vaccines every 6 months or every year, can you imagine the logistics that will be needed from all the world to do it via an injection versus an oral? I think it's a different way of doing things.
Interesting. However, there are challenges. I mean, when we take an oral vaccine, there are our stomach is capable, or what it does, it digests. So all the acid in the stomach, and there are a lot of challenges of administering an oral vaccine and really getting distribution of that vaccine throughout the body for it to really have an effect. So how do you overcome that challenge?
So we have a proprietary technology that was actually developed at Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem. And the partners to this technology are both my mother and the Nobel Prize winner, Professor Avram Hershko from Haifa. And what we do is we created a special antiprotease. Proteases are the enzymes that cause the degradation. So we're able to protect against that. And then we put an enhancer in a capsule, and then we entericoat it, which is a coating that's sensitive to the pH level in the stomach. So you can take the vaccine orally, and it actually doesn't break through only after it goes from the stomach into the intestine. And that's how, because we have this specific technology, we can make it happen. And the good news is that it works, and it works very well. We gave it to animals, and we saw that it works. And after one dosing, we already got the antibodies in the blood. Now we're starting to give it to humans, and very soon we'll be happy to report what we see when we give it to humans.
So did you start already clinical trials in humans? I understand you just finished preclinical in animals, right?
Correct. So we now just submitted in a few countries, including we're looking into Mexico and Brazil, Africa, Israel, United States, because the race is there. There's a huge demand for all vaccine. And at Oramed, we understand that time is of the essence. So we're going to start over the next few weeks with the human trials, and it's going to be very fast because you take the capsules and, a few days later, we check the antibodies and we see the results.
Okay. And then one important question is production. What about production?
So the good news is that our vaccine is based out of yeast. So the ability to scale it up and to do so cheaply is much better than anything else out there. So if you look that the world eventually will choose the oral vaccine, so another huge advantage is the ability to scale it up to produce it, and also the ability to sell it at a reasonable price. Those exist with our vaccine.
Amazing. So you will start clinical trials, hopefully the next couple of months, phase 1 in humans.
Correct. So we will start in the next couple of months. In the next couple of months, we should already have the results of the humans trials. And then I assume we should get an accelerated route. I've been overwhelmed with the feedback to these oral vaccines. We're getting calls from countries who want to secure that they can actually get this oral vaccine. Africa, that you think they wouldn't want to spend money on it, they told us we just cannot get the regular vaccine. We just can't get it to all the villages. The oral vaccine is the only way for us to vaccinate the population. So I hope that we'll be able to get an accelerated approval, the same thing that Pfizer and Moderna had with the injection, so we can get into the market very fast with the oral vaccine.
I like very much that is waste-free, which is very amicable with the environment, because you don't have to have the syringes and all the vials, which is one of the constraints from the productions, which we are the crystal vials for the liquid vaccines, which have to be sterile and everything. So I want to go back a little bit to understand why this oral vaccine is so successful with variants. I understand it's not only against the spike protein. What can we probably think the strategy you're using is similar to the Novavax strategy? Will you be administering the proteins? Which proteins?
So we're taking the 3 proteins. I'll try to simplify it so everyone can understand. So the idea of a vaccine is that I sort of take a corona, a weak one, a dead one, and then the body sees it, he learns it, and then he can fight it by producing the antibodies. The S spike is the most relevant one, because sort of that's the first one that we see, and that's why the Moderna and Pfizer are only working on the S spike. The challenge is that the S spike is also the one which is the easiest one to get mutated. So what we're doing is we're taking 3 proteins, and therefore, in simple words, what we're doing is we have 3 bullets. So versus 1 bullet that the Pfizer and Moderna have, we have 3 bullets that give us a better chance to resist against those variants.
Okay, and talk a little bit more. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I'm just going to add, we have, and I'm happy to send it and to share it with you, we have literally a very short video that shows and explains about the vaccines. And I'm happy to share it because literally in 2 minutes, you can get a very good understanding as to the essence of how it works.
Yes, I will be very happy to watch it, because as I understand is you will produce the M, the E, and the S proteins, these 3 proteins, which are outside of the corona, and you will put it inside what? So what is the transport?
So what we do is we do it with our special proprietary protein delivery system. So there's 2 parts to it. Number 1 is the ability, and that's part of the innovation as far as the vaccine. And the vaccine, by the way, is being invented and manufactured by our partners, Primas. So they were able to take the 3 proteins and to put them sort of as one, which that by itself is a huge achievement. And then what we do is we take this one thing and we put it into our proprietary capsule delivery, and we're able to deliver it orally. So the end result is that you swallow 1 capsule, but that capsule has the 3 proteins in it, and you take it orally. And as I said, we see very nicely that the body reacts very well to it.
And it gets absorbed in the small intestine, I imagine.
Yes.
Amazing. Very, very interesting. I would love to follow the advances to understand not only if it produces the antibodies, which are very important, also the cellular response from this amazing new approach, because we have over 200 vaccines in the pipeline. We have already approved or authorized 10 or 12, but like yours, we have 200. But I think this is the only oral one. So I think it's something so novel and so interesting. And can you talk a little bit more about your mother? You mentioned your mother. Who is your mother?
Sure. So my mother has been a scientist at the Adassa Medical Center for basically all her life. She worked there besides being in the United States and Canada and lecturing. And she's been working at the diabetes unit, and they've been trying to find alternative ways to deliver insulin. Okay. You know that this year we're going to celebrate 100 years since the insulin was discovered. And originally, when the insulin was discovered, it was giving orally, and it didn't work because it broke down, obviously.
It broke down. Yes.
And Oramed was established 15 years ago with the promise to be able to deliver the insulin orally. And there we've made a tremendous amount of progress. And we're going to see over the next few years the oral insulin coming into the market out of Oramed. With the COVID-19, I think, like you said, there's maybe 200 vaccines. So I'm saying it's like I was yesterday on a call with a financial TV channel in the United States, and they spoke about Tesla. I said, it's like comparing a Tesla to a car from 15 years ago. If you have to choose between the oral and the injectable, I think the choice is very simple, and that's where we're heading. So I'm very excited that Oramed was able to establish Oravax, and through Oravax, we are going to move forward ASAP to bring the world this oral vaccine. And I'm very proud that this is something that's coming out of Israel.
Well, amazing. And keep us please posted, because of course we will be needing your vaccine. If we, as you say, we need boosters, probably this is a very good booster. And how quickly can you change through primas? Can you change the spike protein to really be on top of the variants?
So we can do it relatively very, very quickly. We are all gearing up to that. And also I invite the viewers, anybody who wants to participate. Hopefully we're going to start clinical trials in a few places in South America. If you haven't been vaccinated and you want a chance to enjoy what I believe is the best vaccine for COVID-19 out there, so it will be our pleasure that to get you guys to join us and to sit, take a cup of water, take the capsule, and to know that you're vaccinated and good to go out there.
Is this 1 dose or 2 doses?
So we're not sure yet. We're probably going to do one. We're going to check the antibodies, and we're going to do another one. And I assume as far as that, we're going to see like the other vaccines is we're going to get to a certain level of antibodies and protection after 1 dose. But based on the trial, we'll know whether at the end of the day, we'll need 1 or 2. Okay.
Did you get your vaccine already?
I'm waiting. So I'm in the United States. So in a few weeks, I hope we'll get the approval. And I'm waiting, and I promise I'll take a video of me taking the vaccine and sending it over. We joke in Israel, everybody that took the vaccine, and everybody in Israel obviously took the vaccine, so they got like a selfie, they got the picture of them taking the vaccine. So I said, with ours, it's not as exciting. It's not that you have to show that someone gives you injections, just showing you drink water. It's not as much drama, but I still promise I'll make a video and I'll share it.
Nice. Well, you'll send it to us and keep us posted. If you do start a clinical trial, a phase 1 in Mexico or phase 2 or 3, please let us know so we can help you get some volunteers and to keep this trial going. And good luck. It's very nice to hear how science moves forward and is looking through new venues. Hopefully we can have new and more vaccines through this new technology. Very, very interesting. I hope the challenge of getting through the GI system gets A+. And we do see the no side effects, no safety concerns, but yes, immunogenicity.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Carol. And I'm very happy to be on here and wishing everyone a happy Passover.
Well, happy Passover. And it will be kosher for Passover because of the yeast, or not really?
I think when you think about the importance of it, so I think it should be allowed even during Passover. As soon as someone can get it, they should take it.
Okay, excellent. Health first. Thank you very
Health
much,
first.
and Chag Sameach to you too.
Chag Sameach. All the best.